In the last video, we explored the creation and content of the Bretton Woods system. The basic characteristic of Bretton Woods system was that it established the unique controlling position of the U.S. The double peg arrangement made the U.S. dollar as the unique reserve currency. During the initial years of Bretton Woods system, every country needs U.S. dollar to do international business. At the initial post-war year, the demand for U.S. dollar was larger than its supply, so U.S. Federal Reserve sped up printing dollar banknotes, and American government gained large revenue from issuing dollars. This is called income of seigniorage. For instance, by printing the banknote of $100, the seigniorage income is the difference between the nominal value of $100 and the cost of printing it, which is about several cents. During the period of Bretton Woods, Americans' internal macroeconomic policy were expansionary, aiming to stimulate its economic growth. Dollar's interest rates was lower than other currencies. On the foreign exchange market, there would appear over-demand for non-dollar currencies, which would result in the revaluation of non-dollar currencies. Since the Bretton Woods system stipulated that member countries had the obligation to maintain the exchange rates stable, member countries had to prevent their home currencies to be appreciated by selling home currencies in the foreign exchange market, which made the supply of home currencies increased. Consequently, member countries imported U.S. expansionary monetary policy and inflation. So you can see, America had the privilege of enjoying autonomy of monetary policy, where other countries had to sacrifice the independence of monetary policy and executed their obligation to maintain the exchange rate stable. Though America has its own obligation to maintain the dollar's gold price stable, the implementation was dependent on itself. As the unique world settlement currency and reserve currency, U.S. dollar was needed by every country. U.S. government satisfies the need for U.S. dollar by outputting U.S. debt. In order to maintain the official price of gold stable, it required that U.S. government keep enough gold reserves. However, the increase of demand for U.S. dollar was much larger than the increase of gold reserves the United States had, which caused the dilemma faced by the U.S., the so-called Triffin paradox. It was put forward by the Professor Robert Triffin in 1947. As Professor Triffin said, under the Bretton Woods system, the United States faced two tasks. One was to satisfy the world demand for U.S. dollar. Another is to maintain member countries' confidence for the stableness of the gold's official price. These were two obligations that could not be achieved at the same time. In order to complete the first task, U.S. Federal Reserve should not print too much dollar, while to complete the second task, U.S. government must speed the banknote printing machines. The choices of U.S. government was to satisfy the world demand for U.S. dollar firstly, since by printing dollars, the United States government seized huge profit from seigniorage. The end of the game was the global dumping of U.S. treasuries. It was inevitable that dollar's official gold price couldn't be maintained anymore. To solve the paradox of Bretton, Professor Bretton himself advised to issue its own currency by IMF, so the special drawing rights was created in 1969. It's a kind of book asset, an artificial international reserve asset, a currency issued by IMF. Professor Bretton pointed out SDR can be used as an official reserve to substitute dollar, so the demand for dollar could be decreased. However, because the percentage of SDR in government's official international reserves were quite small, its influence was very limited. The valuation of SDR has been changed several times. Initially, it was valued in terms of fixed quantity of gold. On July 1, 1974, it was the weighted average value of basket of currencies including 60 currencies. On September 18, 1980, the basket of currencies decreased from 16 to 5, which were the top 5 largest export countries. The basket of currencies adjusted every 5 years. On December 1, 2015, RMB joined into the currency group in SDR with a weight of 10.92%, which is in the third position. The function of SDR is to supplement existing foreign exchange reserves and to settle IMF transactions and transactions between central banks. SDR can't be used by private companies or persons. In this part, we study the content and characteristics of the Bretton Woods system. From the aspect of exchange rate system, it is a double pegs arrangement. From the aspect of reserve currencies and reserve assets, the system is US dollar gold standard. From the aspect of BP adjustment mechanisms, it requires BP deficit countries assume the responsibility. The result is that US gained a unique controlling position under the Bretton Woods system, and the Bretton paradox led to the collapse of the system. That's all for the section. Thank you.